Corny, man. Alright, so, you know what's funny is, I wasn't going to, but since this nigga pointed out, or excuse me, let me not call him a nigga, before he thinks that he can use the word. Before this Spanish motherfucker pointed out, you're a bozo. You've been talking about this for 2 days already. Like, nigga, who invited your Spanish ass to the page? Like, it clearly says for Negroes only. If it don't say for Negroes only on the bio, I'm going to start to put that in there. So that motherfuckers can't tell me that they got caught off guard. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to read to you his comments and a couple of other Latinos' comments so I can show you how they all think the fucking same. And they all think like white people. So when they use the excuse of, well, what area are you from? Where are you from? You understand? That's like when bitches tell you when we sitting here talking about ain't shit women, and then a woman will come to you and be like, well, you're dating all the wrong women. What type of women are you picking? Like, bitch, you don't even date women. Like, this is just the common selection that's here. And it's no different with Latinos. That's just the common selection that's there. Why? Because it's a part of their culture. Culture affects everyone who grows up underneath its umbrella, does it not? Alright, so like for instance, right, my pop's generation of black people, and particularly where he's from, they don't use the word nigga. They don't like the word nigga. Like, my pops hates the fact that I use the word nigga. Me, I understand completely where they're coming from, but I don't give a shit. Why don't I give a shit? Because the fact that you want to make this a word that nobody can say is taking away not only power from yourself, but it's actually giving power to your enemy, who now know how to get you emotional and psychologically distraught by all they have to do is whisper one word. You fucking nigger. And you black people lose your goddamn minds. Oh my God, he called me a nigger. He threw a chicken wing through my car window. Like, you seen the video of the lady crying, the black lady crying because the white boy threw a chicken wing through her window? Come on, son. Like, we gotta be stronger. We gotta be stronger than this. We gotta be stronger than to let a fucking word bother you. Now, it's going to seem contradictory what I'm saying to you. How are you saying we shouldn't let the word bother us, but then when non-Negroes say the word, we get bothered? Well, here's the thing. It's not a contradiction. And it's not in the sense that the word in itself is bothering me. It's the fact that you think you're going to get away with softcore racism. So it's my concern that these other people, these other nations, use the word nigga and pretend to be our friends. You see, I don't mind a white boy who uses the word nigga and lets me know exactly where he's coming from. You understand what I'm saying? You fucking nigger. That's why I like Trump. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is my thing. I'd rather you be open and hateful so I can understand what I'm dealing with than for you to be a snake in the grass. I particularly don't like snake in the grasses. This is why I decided, let's talk about Latinos again. We did this before on the other page, on the first profile, and they reacted the same fucking way they're doing right now. Right? You don't believe me? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna read homeboy comments, and then you can see why they get upset. You know, they do the same thing. That's the same shit white people do, if you notice. The same thing black feminists do. You've been talking about feminism for 2 days. All right? There's a whole fucking semester in college where you can talk about one subject matter for fucking 3-4 months before it really sinks into your fucking head. You understand? And that lets me know Latinos really don't care about racism and they don't care about niggas. Because if they did, they'd want to air this situation out so that they can clean up their community. You understand what I'm saying? To make relationships between us easier. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you had respect for these niggas, your niggas, like you claim you got respect for your niggas, right? Them hood niggas on the block that these Latinos be chilling with, they're Latinos. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all chilling with other black people who call you nigga and allow you to call them nigga, guess what? You're chilling with uneducated motherfuckers. Now, does that give you the right to say the word nigga just because they don't know any better? No. Are you making a mistake by thinking because you hang with dumb niggas that when you call them nigga, that when you hang with a smart one like me, that I'm gonna let you call me nigga? Do you think that's how it works? Because you're in for a reality check, like for real. So if there's any other Latinos in here, if you haven't left already because you're offended that I'm calling your people out, if you're sticking in here thinking that we're not gonna touch this issue ever again, you should just leave. In fact, I don't even know why I let you in here. But I did anyway, for whatever reason. Maybe just to experiment, I don't know. But we'll see. Alright, hang on a second. Let me see. Third, second, Rex, vocab, 10, 15, 1988. And the crazy thing about it is, I be telling them before I even air any of these specific people out, I be telling them, I said, listen, this page is for Negroes only. So if you don't like the content and the subject matter of what's being spoken about, leave. They don't want to leave. You understand what I'm saying? I don't get it. You don't like what a particular person is saying about you or your stinking ass people, but you stay here and you listen to the shit. That lets me know that you know it's true. And you're worried about other black people thinking the same way. Because then that means you can't get away with saying the word nigga no more. And then you got to be careful who you say the word nigga around. Otherwise, somebody going to check you. Yeah. And that's all I'm really waiting for, is the rest of these hood niggas to really get some understanding and to realize these Spanish niggas really don't fuck with you like that. They use you so they can get on. You understand? So they can come and buy a little 5 thing off you or get a little 3 for 25 from you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to read to you what this motherfucker was saying. And then we're going to get into that chart a little bit more. And then I could break it down a little bit more fully. Right? Let's get into where homeboy at. Who is crying on my damn page. Let me see. It's why I don't be letting them in. So I'm hoping y'all can see why I just say they're white people. They're, unless they're Afro-Latino, this is why I don't fuck with any of the rest of them, because they stank. They stank, like for real. Where is it? The lady crying, the black lady crying because the white in here. It couldn't have been so far away. I'm trying to find this motherfucker, but we'll see. Hang on. We gonna find it. Soon here. Where the fuck did I put it? Oh, okay. I know where it is. All right. Not only the white ones, the Asian ones too. Anybody who's non-Negro. If they're not a Negro, they're not our people. Period. So remember, Latinos, there's 3 different groups. Just like just like in terms of the Adamites, there's 3 different groups. You have the Japhethites, you got the Hamites, and you got the Shemitic people, right? Each of those peoples is represented by a different phenotype, right? A different bone structure, facial features. So, let me just point that out here. Phenotype. So if you don't know what phenotypes is and genotypes, then you need to look them up. 3 human phenotypes. Okay, let me see. Negroid, Mongoloid, Caucasoid. Now, just because you hear white people use these terms doesn't mean the terms are inaccurate. Like, you can look at information and it be neutral, and then the conclusion that you come to be conclusion A or conclusion B. We can both be looking at the same set of evidence, but because of our lens for which we look at the information through, we may interpret the information differently, right? So look, you got in physical anthropology, in terms of 3 general racial classifications of humans, you have Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, Hamitic, Japhethic or Japheth, Shemitic. Very simple. Okay? Ham, yes, Ham is the Caucasoid. Ham. Mongoloid is the Asian type. Japheth. Negroid, Shem. Very easy, okay? It's the skeletal bone type, the skeletal facial features. See if we can get, there's very distinctive bone difference. Okay? So, this gets into phenotype. Phenotype is what? The physical expression of the genes, of the genotype, the genetic construction, right? So we'll type it. Phenotype. Genotype. So this has nothing to do with racist ideology. This has nothing to do with that. Okay? This has to do with science. This has to do with your physical reality and how things are run by the genetic instructions, right? So the genotype is what? Is the set of genes in our DNA which is responsible for a particular trait, right? So the reason why they say black people have wide noses, right? That's due to the genotype, the specific genetic instructions that were made for these types of people. Why our hair is a particular way, right? Hold up, I don't know why this shit is typing. It's typing by itself. Okay. So why our hair is a specific kinkiness, right? Why our skin color is a specific way, or ranging from a specific forms of brown or red, right? There's a reason for that. It's the genetic instruction. That's the genotype. The particular category or section in the DNA which gives instruction for the physical features to come out the way they do, right? Very simple. Okay, the phenotype is the physical expression or characteristics of that trait. So the genotype is what we said, the genetic instructions, right? And then the phenotype is the actual physical expression. So, for instance, the way to put that is, for anybody that does archaeology, you got a blueprint, right? And you do a blueprint, you do your measurements, you put all the instructions out, whatever ingredients you need to buy to mix the cement or mix the plaster or whatever. That's the genotype, right? Then when you finish, the building is actually done being built and the apartment complex is finished, that is the phenotype. So you understand, the blueprint is the genotype, the actual building is a phenotype. Very simple, easy to understand, okay? No racism or hate involved, okay? So there's different types. Apparently, there's different combinations between, you know what I mean? Like, they'll try and separate, I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the original Japhethite. Oh, okay. So, let me correct this here. Because remember, these white people aren't totally human. So, Caucasoids probably have Neanderthal and and Caucasian phenotype, right? So remember, they have the Nephilim included in their shit, which is why they have this protruding, you understand? Some of the Nephilim, perhaps, right? This one, they have some of the Denisovans in them, right? Yellowish skin, light skin, right? Denisovans. So they're in their own category by themselves, right? These are probably the originals, so I wouldn't even apply these terms. I got to find out more about this, right? But this looks like the original Japhethite. This looks like the original Hamite. And this is the original Negro, the Australioid or the Negroid, right? So a lot of us African Americans are actually related to this stock or this branch as opposed to these two. So, but that's for another time. I actually should probably save this, right? But just to keep it simple, we'll just go with the 3, right? We'll keep it simple and we'll go with the 3, okay? All right? We'll keep it simple. We'll go with the 3, okay? Oh, round face ass. See that Bob the Builder? See that Bob? See that Bob right there? Bob the Builder. Okay, see? Dun. Okay, alright, so let's get to it. Let's get to this dude, right? My man was a crybaby. Let's get to this crybaby. Alright, so I just want to show you how they think, right? Because we're going to break down their psychology. That's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, so let me get back up here. Let me see where he left his initial comment, right? So this is more or less, the post I guess he was mad at, because I posted and said that, like, usually what happens with this page is, like within 6 hours to like 36 hours, or around that. So like a day and a half. Usually you'll notice that I'll talk about a topic, and then within a day, max 2, all of a sudden all these other profiles are talking about the same topic. I don't get it, because not everybody follows the page. So that must mean my influence is getting out somewhere. So whether that means you guys are then taking the conversation outside of the gram and discussing it with each other, which is awesome. I'm not knocking anybody or saying anybody's dick riding for that. I'm just saying it's fucking crazy, because it's been this way for like 2 years already. I start talking about something, then 6 to 36 hours from now, you're going to see all the other accounts start talking about it. So, you know who's leading and who's following. Okay? Alright, so look at this part, right? And did you know all these okay, so this was somebody who shared this DM with me, saying that, the information I was putting people onto, other people started to talk about it, right? So, hey, that's just how it goes, a trickle-down effect. But more importantly, I wanted to show you guys his reflection, because he started to have a stinking-ass attitude. He came in fake humble, right? And I dealt with it for a second, but I'm going to show you, when you keep the pressure on these cocksuckers' necks, they start to stop doing that fake shit, and, their real colors start to come out. So this is why you see me constantly, doing that to them. I'll constantly do that to them, because I know there's some racism in there that they want to let out, but they're trying to hide it so that they can pretend that they're not racist, so that I don't accuse them. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not dumb. I've been dealing with these people my whole life. I know them like the back of my hand. Seriously. Okay, so this is what he says, right? It's just a scheme like government so like he's trying to downplay the fact, this is my thing. Nobody said that it wasn't a scheme, the I-10 shit, right? Where they're stealing $4 billion a year in tax money, which is virtually stealing from out of black people's pockets. They're stealing reparations from us, pretty much, right? And this is why the IRS lets it happen, so that they have an excuse not to give us anything, because these motherfuckers are stealing the shit. So this cocksucker's gonna come over here and try to downplay my point by saying, it's just a scheme. And it's like, okay, well, black people have tons of schemes too, and we put you Spanish niggas on the schemes. Whenever black people succeed and we get a slice of the pie, no matter how big or small the slice is, we always share with you Spanish motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? And I'll say it again, as I said before. There would be no Jennifer Lopez without BET and In Living Color. There would be no fucking Ricky Martin and Anthony, and what the fuck is the other one's name? Anthony Martin, or Anthony Cruz, whoever the motherfucker that Jennifer Lopez dated and married. There'd be no him without BET and motherfucking In Living Color. There would be no John Leguizamo without BET. There'd be no fucking Nina Sky without BET. There'd be no Weezen and Yandel like y'all know them without BET. Reggaeton wouldn't be popping without BET putting your music on the top 10 BET countdown. You fucking ungrateful motherfuckers. There would be no Latinos included in black culture without us allowing you to be a part of it. If we were racist like you guys were, we would have iced y'all out of hip-hop culture a long time ago. There would be no Fat Joe. There would be no Big Pun. There would be no Immortal Technique. Do you understand? And I fuck with Big Pun and Immortal Technique. They go down in my top 10 list. Joel Ortiz is one of the best rappers in New York today. But guess what? There would be no him without Negro. There would be no reggaeton, no Weezen and Yandel, no Tego Calderon, none of these motherfuckers without Nando Boom. If you don't know who Nando Boom is, shut the fuck up and go look it up. Okay? There would be no reggaeton without black people. There would be none of y'all without us. Y'all would have no culture. Y'all would just be white people. Now, you guys sprinkle Afro heritage on Spanish culture, and then all of a sudden you claim you're Latino. Now you have your own culture. Bitch, no you don't. You take from white people's culture, which are your people, and then you take from black people's culture, and you try and merge the two. And then you claim it's a culture you created. Fuck out of here, okay? Y'all gonna cut the shit out. Like, for real. Like, look what this motherfucker says. It's just a scheme, like government getting people to pay taxes. There are people who live here and don't pay taxes. I know Egyptians claim they're Jewish for certain shit. What the fuck is he talking about? What the fuck does any of what he just said have to do with anything I'm talking about? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? These motherfuckers are stupid. They're fucking dumb. This shit don't make no sense. Like, look at this cat. He makes no sense. What the fuck does it being a scheme? It's obviously a scheme. My problem is, why are you not sharing it with niggas? We share everything with you, but you don't share shit with us. That lets me know something. You understand? Let's go down. So this is my response to homeboy. So I say to him, yeah, but they not putting Negroes onto it, but want to hop on our civil rights benefits. Do you see what I'm saying? So he said a statement which has nothing to do with what I'm saying, so I corrected him by putting him back on point. I said, yeah, okay, I agree with you. It's a scheme, just like the government asking for taxes. Okay, we agree. That's not the point of this post. You understand? Yeah, but... So I'm agreeing with you. Okay, but they not putting Negroes on. That's the main point. You're not putting Negroes on, but you want to hop on our civil rights benefits. So pretty much what I'm saying to you is, okay, we're not saying it's not a scheme. But what we're saying to you is, when you bitches want to take a slice out of our civil rights pie, we don't don't tell you get the fuck out of here or make excuses for it. We let you guys eat. You understand? Because we like to think of you as our people, because black people are a loving people. But we're starting to realize you other nations of people really don't love and respect us. And I'm not going to allow my people to keep doing this ignorantly, because I'm paying for it. I want some of that $4.2 billion that you Spanish motherfuckers is stealing from us. Because that could be reparations money. You understand? So I want some of that $4.2 billion. I want some of that $20K a month that you bitches are seeing as reparations because you claim you're Native Indians, even though you're not. I want some of that. Why do you guys get to get I-10, you get to get fucking fake Native American $5 Indian benefits, and you get to come take from our civil rights? Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Like, no. You bitch ass niggas are gonna stop. Okay? And then this is what he says. He goes, okay, you're right, but. Okay, so how can I be right, but? There's no but if I'm right. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no but if I'm right. So why is he going but? That's because Latinos are always making excuses for their racism. Let's go. You're right, but it's always a who you known situation. Nobody's putting me on, and when I do, it's who I know and fuck with. Nothing with race, but I get 100% where you're coming from. How the fuck can he get 100% where he's coming from, where I'm coming from, if he's gonna tell me that this has nothing to do with race? Isn't that the same shit white people do? Now it's exactly, you see how he flipped it? Now it's about him. Instead of him just admitting he's wrong, now it's about him. That's because they white. Exactly. So I'm gonna give you guys the same lesson that I've been giving all of these people who, including black feminazis, right? Because black feminazis tend to argue like who? Like white people. Because they get their arguments from who? From white people. So understand something. People is a plural word. Plural. See, persons. Individuals with an S. So people is talking about a collective. A group of people, right? That's a collective. Okay, so we're not talking about an individual here. I'm talking about a collective group of people. Right? Now let's look up what person means. Person is a singular form of people. Right? A human being. There's no S at the end. Regarded as an individual. No S at the end. Do you understand? So this is why I pick and choose words properly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen to it. A person is one, it's a singular. So if I was talking about him in particular, I would have directed my comment and made the post about him. But my post was not about him. My post was about Latin people. A collective. So I wasn't talking about any individual. So when you talk about a collective, you work with generalizations or stereotypes. Because there's always an exception to the rule, but that does not stop the rule from existing. These motherfuckers are stupid. Look, a general statement or concept obtained in reference for specific cases. Right? So let's see. Generalization. Let's go to Wiki. Like, it's a shame I even have to be explaining this shit. Generalization is a process of identifying the parts of a whole as belonging to the whole. So if I analyze, it's a fucking shame I gotta draw a fucking pie chart for these retards. Okay, they're fucking retarded. Okay, this is 5%. This is 95 fucking percent. Okay? This is what a generalization looks like. Okay? A generalization can be anywhere from 0.1% to 100%. As long as I am over 50%. Do you understand? So a generalization can apply to anything that is more than 50%. If you are more than 50%, that's a majority. You're still a majority by a small 0.1%, but you're still a majority. A generalization is based on an assessment when you analyze the majority. So how does a culture, right? How does racism become a part of a culture? Right? How does racism become a part of a culture? The racist ideologies have to be adopted by a majority of the fucking people in order for it to show up as a part of the culture. If it's not adopted by a majority of the culture, guess what it's known as? Fucking taboo. Like these, I swear to God, they're fucking stupid. Like homosexuality was a fucking taboo. Right? Taboo. Definition. Taboo. A social or religious custom prohibited or forbidding discussion of a particular practice. That's not what we're looking for. Okay, this is the definition we're looking for. As an adjective, prohibited or restricted by social custom. So if Latin American racism was restricted and looked down upon by a majority of Latin people, then it would be a taboo. It would not be a part of the popular culture. But guess what? Institutional racism is a part of the popular culture in Latin society. Just like it's a part of the popular culture in white society. Just like it's a part of the popular culture in East Indian society. Just like it's a part of the popular culture in Asian society. Okay? The fact that I have to do this for fucking people that think they're so goddamn smart. They always want to correct niggas, if you notice. Let a nigga say something in Spanish and it not be pronounced and I don't roll my R properly. These motherfuckers think they're gonna come tell, like, bitch, get out of my face. I said exactly the same shit you said. I just didn't say it with a stupid ass accent. Like they really think they're better than niggas, and that's what frustrates me. Like, fucking stupid. Right? So let's get back to this motherfucker. So let's get back to him. So notice how he flipped it to make it about him. Right? Nobody put it on me. Well, this is my response to him, is right. Like, let me just read my response. Because he says, well, maybe you're not, it's all about who you know. Right? Yeah, fuck out of here, okay? Here we go. Spanish people know us. They move into our neighborhoods. They move right into our fucking neighborhood. So how can you say you don't know us and you move right on our block? What the fuck are you talking about? This guy's an idiot. Right? So let's continue to show why he's a moron. Okay? They know us. They still don't put Negroes on to anything or ever break bread with Negroes. When you ever seen Dominicans hire any black people inside their restaurants? But they'll hire Mexicans. Huh? Exactly. Right? Everybody quiet now. It's few and far between, yet always got their hands out asking for a slice of our pie. Tell me where I'm lying here. Where do Latinos give an olive branch out to niggas? Never. But Negroes were always fighting for them. Why are we always fighting for these pieces of shit? They don't fight for us. Look at this. Watch this. NAACP fights for Latinos. Look. Why are we always fighting for them? NAACP is our people's shit. Why are we fighting for them? They don't fight for us. We've been fighting for them since they came to this fucking country. These ungrateful pieces of shit. And that's what they are. They're fucking ungrateful. And it's time to G-check them. These stinking ass people didn't even win their own rights. They came here and saw that black people already fought for our themselves. They came to attach themselves to our shit. Here's why some black leaders are fighting the NAACP over charter schools, right? So that has nothing to do with anything. Why the fuck would that pop up? Okay? Right? Like, why are we always fighting for y'all? Right? Let me see. Okay, civil rights. Like this is the thing that people don't understand. Civil rights is not for everybody. Let me explain something to y'all. Hold up. Because you got to realize that all of these fake ass minority groups, okay, they all are destroying the Civil Rights 1960 Act. From homosexuals to white women. Yes, white women are considered a minority. From homosexuals to white women to fucking Asians, Latino, Hispanics, anybody who's not a Negro, they all fuck it up for us. I'll let you know why. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. This shit crazy. Because the fact that we got to keep explaining this shit to them is, you know, this is why I say, you know, I just like to teach my people only, because I can get mad at my people and it be constructive. It don't make no sense getting mad at these other stinking ass people because they just doing what they're supposed to do. It's just who they are. So where is this shit? Hang on. I might not have it here. I might have it. Might be somewhere else. Yeah, I think it might be somewhere else. Okay, nope, it's here. Okay, ready? So look at this. This is when the civil rights agenda, they were the first ones to hijack the civil rights movement, right? And then after they successfully did it, these faggots opened the door for all these other so-called minority groups, which include Hispanics. Okay? So, you got to understand the history of the civil rights 1960 bill. It was for anybody who was discriminated against within the United States by the United States government via institution. Latinos were not discriminated against by the United States government or institutionally while in the United States. So technically they do not fit under this criteria. You have to have immutable characteristics like race and gender. They got that. Financial discrimination. Okay, so where can Latinos show that they were financially discriminated against, where institutions were created to blackball them out of making money and making a living? They would have to show that. Where did they have political weakness? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if I could say they have political weakness because they look to join up with black people. So they attach themselves to our shit. You understand? So you gotta, well, this is like homo statistics to prove why they're not a minority group. But Latinos are included. Latinos is not a minority group. Okay? Because Latinos do not have immutable characteristics. They have varying characteristics. Some Latinos look like Negroes. Some Latinos look like Asians. Some Latinos look like white people. And all the rest of them look like mixed breed mutts in between. So where's the immutable characteristics of their physical features? They're not one group of people. They're a culture. So therefore they do not qualify as a minority group. Like, you're not minorities. Like, unless you're an Afro-Latino, you are not a minority. You understand what I'm saying? Get your white ass over there. Like, get your white ass over there. We gotta stop fighting for these motherfuckers. Stop. Okay? Stop fighting for them. Look at this other joint. Where is it? White social. Okay, whiteness. Whiteness. Wikipedia. So we're gonna go to whiteness, right? Whiteness studies. Okay, Okay, hold up. Whiteness. Whiteness in definition of whiteness in the United States. Exactly. Bob the Builder. Yes, we can. Okay, let's go to Hispanics. Right? What does it say? Hispanic Americans are Americans who have a significant number of Spanish-speaking Latin American ancestors. While Latin Americans have a broad array of... What? While Latin Americans have a broad... What does broad mean? Have a broad array of ethnic, racial, and cultural backgrounds. That means Hispanic Latino are not a group of people. Okay? They are a culture. Okay? What did I tell you? Immutable characteristics like race and gender. What does the term immutable mean? And by the way, these three criterias are classified by the Supreme Court. So I didn't just make this up. This is the Supreme Court's definition of what a minority is. See? Minority class status, Supreme Court. So the number one thing is immutable characteristics. Let's look up what immutable means so we don't fuck up the explanation here. This is going to make a lot of Latinos mad. And I've been making y'all mad for the last 2 days. Okay? Unchanging over time or unable to be changed, fixed, set, rigid, inflexible, permanent, established, permanent. Okay? Niggas will be niggas no matter if they're fucking on the African continent, the Asian continent, the fucking Shemitic continent. It doesn't matter. It does not change. Immutable, right? So he has immutable characteristics. Let's go back to this whiteness. Okay? So when they're telling you they have a broad array, what does broad mean? Let's just go to broad. Because we got to do this, man. Having an ample distance from side to side, providing width, right? Meaning wide. Right? So there's much room. When something's wide, it means there's much room, right? Move your wide ass out the way. Move your fat ass out the way. Right? Okay? So broad array. So that means it's not immutable. There's nothing immutable about broad array of ethnic, racial, or cultural. So they're already disqualified from being a minority group, which means they need to take their leeching asses off of the Civil Rights 1960s Act and get off our dicks. Get off the NAACP's dick. Get off their dicks. You're not our people. Okay? You're a bunch of leeches. They all tend to be indiscriminately labeled Hispanic, giving them that term a racial value. And look at how it has racial in quotes, because Hispanic is not a race, it's a culture. And if Hispanic is not a race, Latino is not a race and a culture, they do not qualify as a minority group. Right? Let's get it. Let's keep going. It was not until the 1980s, after years of protests from the Chicano movement, this is the Asian Latino movement. Remember, Asian Latinos are just one of the 3 different types. In the United States government created the term Hispanic to classify all peoples who come from Spanish-speaking countries. The term Hispanic, so listen, coming from Spanish-speaking countries. So Hispanic is not based on race. It's based on fucking dialect and language. Like Latino. Y'all do know that English is a Latin language, right? Like, how retarded can you be? Motherfuckers be like, no, yo soy no negro. Yo soy Latino. No, bitch, you're a nigga. Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, Romanian, and Catalan. Right? That's the Basque Spain region. Right? Where all them RH negatives be at. Right? Guess what? These are all Latin languages. You dumb motherfuckers. We all speak slave languages. So why do these Latinos think they're better than black people? Because they speak 2 slave languages. You're bilingual in 2 slave languages. I don't know whether they be proud of you or ashamed of you. I don't know. Okay? But I'm certainly ashamed that y'all are proud of that shit. Bastard languages. You understand? So what happened? In recent years, the United States have been given racial value with the perception of racial Hispanic look being that a Native American race or of mixed race is usually what? Mestizo or mulatto, as the majority of people who immigrate from Spanish-speaking countries to the United States are of that racial origin. So anybody who's a mestizo, right, and we can get into that, or mulatto. Mestizo is when you have a black grandmother and a conquistador or mongoloid forefather, right? A mulatto is when you have either a Caucasian grandmother or a mongoloid grandmother and a negroid father. So just remember, mestizos are not Israelites. Mulattoes, Israelites. You understand? Like, for instance, they tend to call me, they love to try and call me a mulatto because they want to deny the fact that I'm black because I'm extremely intelligent. So anytime you find intelligent, like, what do white people do? Oh, you're not like the other niggers. Isn't that what they say? You're not like the other niggers. As if, okay, you're a smart nigger and we can't deny that. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate you from the rest of niggas so that the other niggas don't become inspired because they realize that you are them and they have the same capabilities. You see what I'm saying? This is why they do what they do. It's the same shit that Spanish people do. Well, we're not like, we're Negro, but we're not like, you know, American black people. That's how they are. They're just like white people. I'm telling you. Right? So you gotta look at this shit, right? So remember, the Chicanos came up with this, right? So look at this. On the 2000 census form, race and ethnicity are distinct questions. A respondent who checks the Hispanic or Latino ethnic box must check one or more of the 5 official racial categories. Of the over 35 million Hispanics or Latinos in the 2000 census, a plurality of 48.6 identified as white. 48.6 of them identified as being white. Hispanics are white people. Okay? Let's keep it going. 48.2% identified as other, right? Meaning they're mixed. They don't want to admit who they are. So you got niggas who know they're niggas, but they don't want to say they niggas because it's not valuable within their culture. So they'll get blackballed out of opportunity. And the remaining 3.2 identified as black. These are the motherfuckers who have no choice but to identify as being niggas because they don't have any mixture. They don't have any quote unquote mixture, right? And then look, by 2010, the number of Hispanics identifying as white has increased. So they've been increasing in their whiteness. Okay? They identify more with white people as time goes on. Okay? It's widened in the margin since 2000, right? Of over 50 million people who identify as Latino Hispanic, a majority, 53%, have identified as white. 36.7% has identified as confused, right? And 6% have identified as 2 or more races, and it's lowered. Look at that, 3.2% identified as black, and now only 2.5% identify as black. Do you see what I'm saying to you? There's no value for being black in that society. And why is that? We're going to see. Why is that? We're going to see. Why is that? Why is there no value for it? Because guess what? Being black is a second-class citizenship. You understand? You have no privileges. You work the hardest down here. You have to serve everybody, and you get shitted on by everybody. You understand? You're getting shitted on by every fucking body. So this is why you got Afro-Latinos, right, who can't do anything but admit that they're Negroes, but they rather say, I'm a mulatto. I got 2 or more races. They rather say that so that they can deny. Why do you think I put mulattoes here in parentheses? Because mulattoes ain't shit but niggas. You understand? That's all they are. They're niggas. They want to be mixed so bad, and that's pathetic. It's almost as pathetic as our people searching for exotic women. Like, we have all the exotic features that all these bitch-ass nations want to have. Why are we looking for them? Don't know. Don't make sense. Right? But we've identified whiteness, right? Whiteness is a status. Okay, let's go. So since they apparently separate Hispanic Americans, right, from Mexican Americans, especially, I guess this is true. Look, the official racial status of Mexican Americans has varied throughout American history. From 1850 to 1920, the U.S. Census form did not distinguish between what? From 1850 to 1920, the United States Census form did not distinguish between whites and Mexican Americans. So Mexicans have been white since the 1800s. Okay? In 1930, the U.S. Census form asked for color or race, and census enumerators were instructed to write W for white or MEX for Mexican. So the separation between whites and Mexicans only came about in the 30s. Okay? They've been considering themselves white since the 1800s. Okay? In the 1940s and 50s, the census reverted its decision and made Mexicans be classified as white again. And thus the instructions were to report W for Mexicans unless they were definitely of full indigenous Indian or other non-white races, such as black or Asian. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There's only 3 different groups here. Okay? Same shit I've been telling you. Same thing Torah tell you. Right? So what do we have here? Mexicans are white people. Look, United States nativists in the 1920s and 1930s, mostly due to socially xenophobic and economic climate of the Great Depression, tried to put a half to Mexican immigrations by having Mexicans or Mexican Americans declare non-white. Okay, Mexicans have been white since they've been in this country. Let's go to Latino Caribbeans, right? Okay, usually these are our people. For the most part, they're our people. But you still have the oppressor amongst them. Okay? See? Here we go, hold up. Their appearance let them be more accepted by an American culture that openly discriminated against Afro-Cubans and Afro-Puerto Ricans. Now, if all Puerto Ricans were the same and all Cubans were the same, why is there a distinction being made here? We get into mestizo and all this type of shit. But why is there a distinction being made? See? And this is the lie here. Mostly if you read page 20 through 22 of Africans and Native Americans by Jack Forbes, he explains to you the correct understanding. So technically, we're not from West Africa. So they keep calling us African because they don't want us to realize these lands are our shit. And they've been stealing our shit. Right? See what I'm saying, though? Afro-Cuban, Haitian Cubans. Right? We're everywhere. Just put Afro in front of any Latin American country and our people pop up. Okay? See? If all Puerto Ricans were the same, why do I have to put Afro Puerto Rico to find my people? Why? And why they put slavery there? Everywhere you see black people, they always trying to put us with slavery. You understand? Let's try to say that we have no history. Let's do another one. Afro-Peruvian. Right? Type in any Afro country and you'll get their history. Why? Let's do another one. Afro-Argentina. Afro-Argentine. Okay? Afro-Argentines. Like, listen. Okay, put Afro in front of anything. Afro-Ecuadorians. There's a lot of black people in Ecuador and in Colombia. They have the second largest amount. Right? Yep, Antonio Valencia. If you look up the Ecuadorian national team, right? Ecuadorian national, it's nothing but niggas. Edison Mendez was one of my favorite players from the 2010 World Cup. Look at this, Ecuador. It's nothing but black people. But when you look at Ecuador, right? Look at the Ecuador national team. This is the national team. This ain't nothing but niggas. Straight niggas. This is like an African national team, bro. Straight niggas. Right? But when you go here and you go to Ecuador, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Wow, they actually put some black Ecuadorians first. You see, they be trying to make a fool out of us. They know we getting on to games, and now they start to slowly put the images. But even like 3 years ago, before we started to point this out, when you Googled specific Latin American countries, only these motherfuckers would show up, right? These Asian-looking motherfuckers. They wouldn't even give you an image like this before. Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we started doing the Google, they wouldn't even give you images like this. You'd have to type in Afro to get an image like this. But now they know we catching on the game. But look at them. Look, see? And I'm not talking shit about none of these people. I'm just saying, look at how they look. Look. See? That's me talking shit. But jokes aside, donkey teeth aside, right? Right? Look, straight up. We're going to put the donkey teeth down, right? Whenever it comes to athletics, they can put niggas, they can show niggas everywhere. When it comes to athletics, niggas can win them and their nation some trophies and some rewards. But when it comes to representing those same people who play for your national team, it's nowhere to be seen. You don't recognize them. You understand? It's very rare that they recognize us. You understand? These are the original people of Ecuador and Colombia. Not these people. These are the conquistador and the Mongols. See, they're the Bob the Builder face. See? Bob the Builder. Bob the... Matter of fact, we have the internet. Why are we singing Bob the Builder when it could be sung to us? Y'all know how ignorant I am. You know I'm ignorant. You know I'm ignorant. You know I'm ignorant. You know I'm ignorant. You know I'm ignorant.
Your music playing.
I make a song out of this shit. Oh, you know I'm gonna play it in Spanish too.
Lo ayudan bien, son un gran equipo al trabajar y se divierten al terminar. Construyen, podrán hacerlo.
Bob the Builder.
Todos trabajan y sin descansar. Siempre hay mil cosas que hay que reparar. Son gran equipo en la construcción y su trabajo les da diversión.
Bob the Builder face ass. I'm gonna do one more for y'all. Damn, she hasn't fallen asleep yet. Shit. Give me 1 second. This is the last one I'm gonna do. Alright. She hasn't fallen asleep yet. Oh damn, I need to increase her shit.